I want to set this off by saying rest in peace to Mac Miller, but I also want to say I'm not an expert on Mac Miller's catalog. Yes, there have been some Mac Miller albums that I haven't heard. However, I am familiar with the majority of them, and I truly do understand why his music resonated with so many and why he is looked at as a special musician. What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Mob. If you are rocking with this content, go ahead and smash that like button for your boy. Also subscribe if you haven't. But today I'm going to be hitting y'all with my thoughts on this Mac Miller album entitled Balloonerism. This is an unreleased album from the late Pittsburgh rapper Mac Miller, which was recorded back in 2014, now being released for the first time as a posthumous album, but it's not really a posthumous album, as it didn't seem like any changes or alterations were made to the original 2014 recording. This was a time when Mac Miller was going through a darker, more creative spurt and showing more depth to his music. So the production for this release was handled mostly by Mac himself as Larry Fisherman, but there was additional assistance from Thundercat and Taylor Graves. It contains 14 songs lasting approximately 59 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with that track by track breakdown. The opener, Tambourine Dream, just has Mac playing the tambourines for about 30 seconds to set this dreamlike tone. But the first actual song is a DJ's chord organ featuring SZA, and it has a spacious instrumental from an organ chord. It is a trippy and vibe heavy song that I could respect for its aesthetics, but it did put me in a strange hazy like mood, if I'm gonna be honest. So I don't know how often I'll revisit it. I'm not saying it's bad at all though. Track 3, Do You Have a Destination, has more of a psychedelic bluesy feel to the production, and the drums are pretty dope. And here Mac is doing a lot more rapping than on some of the other songs. Now, there are some eerie lines like, I gave my life to this ish, already killed myself. He's also letting us into his mindset at this particular moment. Okay, I went to sleep famous and I woke up invisible, rich as miserable. And he further acknowledges his drug use with bars like, need to let the drugs go, trying to find heaven, I get high but never come close. Next is $5 Pony Rides, which probably has the brightest or cheeriest instrumental of the batch. You have some bass from Thundercat and some sunny pianos. Overall, a pretty blissful beat, but there's still something melancholy about this track. Afterwards is the high point, Friendly Hallucinations. Now this has a hazy boom bap beat that blends a little bit of jazz rap with some G-funk. I also dug the faint just rhyming with biz sample. And on this track, Mac is doing some storytelling about a woman who is detached from reality and just embracing drugs as an escape. There are vivid lines like, there's help inside that medicine cabinet, came in for the answers, but she left with a habit. Now the chorus has some sung vocals from Mac that are pretty trippy but catchy at the same time. But sonically, I did enjoy the flavor for this track. Then there is the more depressing Mrs. Deborah Downer, which has more of a slowed down, dreary beat. Mac seems to be coming to terms with his own addiction even more so here, when he acknowledges that his best friend packed up and left once he saw a room filled with rolled up $100 bills. Now, this record is certainly a vibe, but a dark one. And as a result, I don't know how much I'm gonna want to revisit this song for that reason. Like, if you know people who've had addictions, or if you ever been in the presence of someone with an addiction, then this can be a tough listen. Immediately after is Stoned, another highlight. The beat here, I think, puts the capital P in psychedelic. It's also funky with that electric guitar riff. Now, there's some personification going on here. Mac is doing storytelling about a girl on the surface, but I think the girl probably represents Mac in his addiction, as he does paint a pretty a disturbing visual of someone being locked in a bathroom doing drugs. Yeah, it's definitely a groovy record with a distinct vibe, but it's still unsettling. After is Shangri-La, a shorter record with a smooth experimental beat, and there's somewhat of a chopped and screwed like hook, perhaps with a mix of cloud rap. Again, the production was dreamy, abstract, and it was a cool little detour on the album. What comes next is Funny Papers, a song that is guaranteed to be a favorite for day one Mac Miller fans. You have some gorgeous melancholic pianos, dense drums, and on this one he is doing more storytelling, speaking on how life is fleeting. He's examining the highs and lows of life, talking on the first verse about someone's death and on the second about a baby being born. And I like how at the end he admits to not having the answers with lines like, shit, I ain't an innovator, just a mother effing illustrator. But even though the production was beautiful, this was still a sad song. Following that is Excelsior, and this has a quintessential Mac Miller feel. You have some somber production that is otherworldly. Mac is doing more storytelling with just one verse. Here he's reflecting on the nature of kids and how as adults we lose the magic that we had when we were kids playing on the playground. And there is Transformations featuring Delusional Thomas, Mac's alter ego, and it has more of a straightforward murky type instrumental that you could envision Schoolboy Q on. And you were getting those hazy, outlandish, zany bars from Delusional Thomas, which were funny. Then there is Mannequins, which has more of an atmospheric rock tone. The eerie harp at the beginning was a cool touch. And he's doing more soul searching here with bars like things we search for end up finding us. God is like the school bell. He's going to tell you when the time is up. And then there was the eerie question he posed. Why is heroism so close to heroin? The second and last track is Rick's Piano. And it's another record that I'm sure is going to be a highlight for Mac fans. There's pensive pianos and a velvety strumming guitar. Mac is doing more pondering on deeper questions like what does death feel like why does death still life? Then the album ends with the extremely haunting Tomorrow We'll Never Know. Now this has a sparse mystical beat that's pretty unnerving. Honestly, the foreshadowing here makes it tough to listen to, especially the voicemail and the constant ringing of the phone throughout. It's a pretty chilling closer given how things later happen. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of 4 mics. I can see this being an important album for Mac Miller fans as a whole. It is a cohesive project for it being unreleased. I'd say it was also sonically a little ahead of its time for 2014 standards. You could tell that Mac was in a dark space for this release, but also in a very creative and experimental one. As I said earlier, the album did put me in a strange dream-like frame of mind that I was a little uncomfortable with, to be honest. And I don't know why, but some of Mac Miller's music tends to have that effect on me. So even though this album was well crafted, I don't know how often I'm going to replay some of the songs because I'm unlikely to want to experience some of the emotions I did again. But he definitely succeeded in bringing you into his world at that particular time. And it's obviously just very sad that his life was tragically cut short as he was really entering his prime as a musician. Favorite tracks include $5 Pony Rides, Friendly Hallucinations, Stone, Shangri-La, Funny Papers, Excelsior, and Rick's Piano. Let me know your thoughts on this project in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but as always, it's peace and blessings. Mac Miller, Balloonerism 1.